So, Mike, thank you very much. It is 10 o'clock now on the East Coast, and this is a story that's breaking right now.
It is. Police arresting a suspect today in the notorious Gilgo Beach serial killings. This is a live look. We're just getting this breaking news. It's a live look here at the scene in Massapequa Park, New York, only about 20 minutes from where the victims' bodies were found. Police have been there all morning long. The investigation started more than a decade ago when police found the remains of 4 women wrapped in burlap in a wooded area near the beach. Welcome to a brand new hour of America's Newsroom. I'm Dana Perino.
Nice to see you, partner. I'm Bill Hemmer. Good morning. This is a fast-moving story right now. You're going to get a press conference later today, and we'll see how much they want to share then. But look, they've been looking for this killer for years. Investigators eventually finding 6 more bodies in the area, though it's unclear if all of them are tied to the suspect now in custody. Neighbors expressing shock and perhaps some relief.
We're shocked because this is a very, very quiet neighborhood. Everybody knows each other.
You think of the victims, it's sad, it's tragic. It's not about him, it's not about us, it's about the victims.
So former NYPD Inspector Paul Morrow joins us for analysis. But first, John Ray's the attorney representing the families of 2 of the victims. And sir, good morning to you. Let's begin with you and just try to get an idea. Okay. Do you know what changed in this case for investigators and police? Was there evidence that popped up or something else?
There's very little yet that we know from this arrest. We do know that the DNA has been the key to all of their investigation, and that DNA was tested, has been worked upon over and over in the FBI's labs. So it's very likely that's the source of the entire thing, but we don't know for sure because they're not talking yet, the police. We do know that the police department, we got a leak about 3 or 4 days ago that they were about to make that arrest. What the timing was, we're not sure of. And we're very, I represent Shannon Gilbert's family as well as Jessica Taylor's family, the 2 of the victims. And we're delighted that finally something is happening. I suspect that the arrest deals with the 4 young women who were covered with burlap, and they were buried tandem one with the other, and not with the other victims. They may be able to link this fellow up with the other victims, but not yet.
John, I have so many questions. I mean, I've followed this case for a long time. It's captured the imagination of so many people. I've read a novel that was based on the story. There's been podcasts, right, movies, and all the while you stood there with those families, promising them that you would keep at it and that the police would keep at it. Given what you've known and where we can see the police are today making this arrest, did you ever have any suspicions about anybody in this area?
Yes, we did. We've been, we've gathered in my firm. I've been here doing this case we're going in our 12th year on it, and so we've gathered a huge volume of evidence and information. Much of it leads to Massapequa. For example, the pinging on the phone calls made to the victims' families that took place. One of the pings hit from Massapequa. And we've been able to connect various people with that same area, geographic area. So we've been on it. We've been feeding the police with information that we get. We're not afraid to do that or reluctant. And I hope some of it's been helpful. But I guess you could say that the main thing from my perspective is that we've kept this case alive when it was being buried alive with the victims over the years. Yeah. So I'm glad that the police are finally making a move.
John, in your case, the 2 families you represent, Shannon Gilbert, you mentioned there, body was found in December of 2010, I think. But Jessica Taylor's remains were found in July of 2003. That was 20 years ago. I mean, that's remarkable to think that this has gone on this long.
Well, it may go back longer than that. Shannon's remains were found in 2011. The case goes all the way back, possibly to the 1980s. Wow. There are various women who have been murdered from Long Island who have been found in similar circumstances and came from similar backgrounds. So we see a link or links, but not necessarily. There's an awful lot of coincidences that have occurred in this case, a stunning number of coincidences, not least of which is that one of the victims, Melissa Barthelemy, who comes from Lockport in Buffalo, I have ended up by sheer coincidence representing the family of another victim in Buffalo who was her co-worker, and connected therefore to the Long Island serial killer all the way up in Buffalo and out in California as well. So there's many links. There's a lot more to be talked about, more evidence that's involved here. Hopefully the police will give us an insight today.
Yeah.
John Ray, an incredible story, and thank you for standing by those families, and we'll be in touch as this is developing today. Thank you so much.